Kassim. As you can see, he's already on the video. All right. So for just a little housekeeping, let me be reminded. Kindly remember that mic should be muted at all times. Switch off your camera, and recording is not allowed. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type your questions in the chat box. We will get back to you after the webinar. Okay. Our team will also compile all the questions and we will bring it up at the end. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to our presenter, Mr. Ahmad Zafuan, Mohamed Kassim. Okay, welcome, Doctor. Mr. Ahmad Zafuan.
Okay, thank you.
And the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. As Liew from Ching. Okay, let me share the slide first. Okay. So can you see the slide? No. Hello.
No. You can only see you. Mr. Zafuan.
Oops.
You can share again.
Yeah, 1 second. So, supposed to be. Oh. Yeah. What about now? Is it okay?
We have blank. Wait for a second. Yes, now we can see the slide.
Yeah, it's okay.
Next, it's okay already. We
cool.
can see the slide.
So my voice is also clear, right?
Very clear.
Okay, cool. Okay, hi everyone. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. I'm Zafuan. So today we'll talk about indoor thermal discomfort, energy waste, and people productivity. These actually mostly come from my own experience, our experience in doing energy audit. Quite actively doing energy audit last time in 2014 until 2018. So from that experience, we learn a lot. I'm collecting a lot of data, and then we study. One of the that really trigger me is the occupants. I'm more interested with the people's what I call people performance in the buildings. Okay, even though I come from the technical background, but while doing energy audit, I don't know how, but I'm start look into the people impact in the buildings. Okay, that's the whole idea of this presentation. We'll talk about it, and also how energy play their role. Okay, so learning objective here, I try to visualize because discussion is more on our finding, from my finding on the case study. So try to visualize what is building indoor thermal discomfort, okay, and then how the impact to the people and also energy use. So hopefully by learning outcome, it's able for everyone here can connect the dots between the building, people, and energy, so you can see the relations. Okay, so the outline we discuss on the case study, then indoor generation and sick building syndrome. Then later we discuss on energy costs and operating costs. Okay, this is report actually. For my case study, I referred quite a lot of this report. This is actually the report comes from World Green Building Council. It's quite recognized institution focused on green building. Okay, why I start look into this report, because in 2014 when I conduct energy audit in one of the building in Putrajaya, that one in 2014. So in any building energy audit, we have a few assessment. Okay, we have several assessment. They have the technical assessment, and then there's also one part they call building comfort, indoor comfort. So I'm quite interested with that assessment actually. So that building, I don't want to what I call mention the buildings, which ministry, okay, that building in Putrajaya. It's quite a huge building, if I'm not mistaken, about 6 to 8 floors. So when we do audit, during that time I'm doing indoor comfort, where we took several data. We collect data indoor temperature, indoor humidity, lux level, means the kecerahan, I mean the lumens of the light, and then we also take on carbon dioxide in the building. So I remember when we measure in level 2, so there's a level 2 actually, before that's empty, then there's a quite numbers of people. There are new team working on GST, so probably you can guess which ministry. So they're working on a GST, so they occupy that level 2. So I remember there's one lady, okay, I guess the age around probably late 40 or early 50. I don't know actually, I just guess based on the looks. So when I measure I mean, collecting the data, measure the indoor environment, I always ask people, how they feel, what do you feel, are you comfortable in this room? Then she told me that she having a problem when she moved to that level 2. She have difficulty to focus. Even before lunch, she already feel tired. She feels sick. Even she went for doctor a few times, but when she met the doctor say everything's okay. But when coming back to the office, the same problems happen. Very difficult for her to complete the job. So she don't know why. Then I showed to her with my data. I showed during that time, I asked them, do these indoor conditions common for you? They said, yes, commonly like this. Then I show the data. So the humidity, the indoor temperature during that time around 20 degrees. Okay, and then the lux around 190 lux, which is below than recommended by the standard. So that's trigger me. So that's really trigger me how the building can create very bad condition to the people performance. Okay, then if you like it, you can download this report actually available in the internet. Then in the same report shows if the building is colder, the people performance drop 4%, and if you're warmer, drop 6%. So that's very interesting. Then I start search a few paper in Malaysia. I found a few, but then very specific. There's one paper, research paper in if I'm not mistaken. They study performance in lab. Then they have another paper study for academic class. But we don't have, at the moment, I couldn't find any general or formula to indicate people performance directly with the indoor conditions. So that's why I did this case study, okay? And you might look funny when you see this lady with a snow cap, but I found one in the building. So when we conduct in 2017, it's quite funny. We conduct audit in one building. I think it's about 20, quite high building, 26 to 28 or 30 levels. So when we reach one level, quite cool. And then they said, this building, this level, the most cooler one compared to others. Really? And then they show to us they have snow cap, even they have a glove. Just imagine that one in Malaysia. Okay, so when I show this photo, that's true. We found this condition. People wear snow cap, people wear glove in the office. Okay, when we take data during that time, they say that one during that time is quite okay. But if let's say rain, or sometimes I don't know why they become too cold and then they need to wear that all equipment to make it them warm. So that's happened when we conduct energy audit in quite a numbers of building. We always facing indoor building. Normally, they overcool the building compared to warmer the building. Okay, no always cool. They cool the building. Okay, that's how we can relate with the energy later on. So then I start to in 2017. The one if you see my front page, there's a office conditions, right? That's where I located my office last time. I worked in that co-working space. Then I asked permission them because that room was also quite cool. Then I asked, can I do case study? So they agree. Then this is my case study. I bought hygrometer. Hygrometer actually to capture humidity and temperature, indoor temperature. So this is my case study. I asked, do you feel comfortable today? And then there's a form I put together with a form. We want to know what you think. And they have a date, time, name, and yes, no. So during the observation is done from 27 October 2017 until 10 of November. So this one might be not really, perfect when compared to the academia because, if academia is more detailed, but this I think is quite good for our getting information to understand the conditions. So I asked the people in that office, okay, whatever you feel, because that office open for 24 hours. Then I asked people in that building, I said, Whenever you feel not happy, you feel not comfortable, or you feel comfortable, whatever it is, you just put in this form. So date and exact time when you make a comment. Okay, then you give some comment. So then within 2 weeks, we get the data, then we process. This is the first data, this is the data. The red one actually is a result from our hygrometer. So you can see the temperature regulate, okay, within 2 weeks time. And then you can see it's below the recommendation. During that time, 2017, we still follow MS 1525 2014 standard for uh, non-residential standard reference. Now they have a new one, 2019. Okay, so when I refer to this, you can see the building actually perform below than recommended. I means overcool. Okay, so because Cyberjaya nearest to Putrajaya, if you see in Putrajaya, there's a recommendation for all government building to set the temperature at 24 degree. Okay, so you can see this building below than that. Then we get the data from ambient temperature. This one we download from the internet. So during the same period, so we compare that. So you can see the red one actually is ambient temperature in Cyberjaya. Then the blue one actually the one from our hygrometer. Okay, so you can see here different. I mean the ambient, the outside quite hot, and then in the buildings too cold. Okay, then if you're working in energy, you can see actually when the standard shows 24 degree, that's your target to remove heat from your building to bring the right temperature, which is our target around 24 to 26. Okay, that's the right temperature that we should get in the building. But you can see in this case from 31, because this is from the ambient, then that's the ambient influence the indoor temperature. Then the air conditioning they use, instead of stop at 24 or 26, they bring down to 21 degree. So the difference already energy waste. This is, we can see how the energy waste happen in the buildings. Okay, some people ask me why they don't do it 24. Actually, yeah, on papers it's easy, but they really need to do a lot of work. They need monitoring. They need the control system to ensure they really get the right temperature. So our buildings sometimes they don't have a good control system, the monitoring part. So that's why we always happen like this. Okay. Then, yeah, this is comment. I asked them to comment. You can see there's a lot of comment actually, a lot of paper that we collect. People say it's a snowing, extremely cold, want to creep winter. All bad comment. That's too cold. And we also monitor people in there because in our office building during that time, the organizer provide food. So normally just a few days gone. When you stay in the environment that really cool, that means your body exhausted. Your body need a lot of energy. They burn a lot of energy. So because trying to warm up to make it your body warm. So when that things happen, you will eat a lot. Okay, that's a funny thing. Yeah, you can see funny thing, but that's bad also. So you will tend eat a lot. So for those smoker, we have a few people smoke. They say when we ask, they say yeah, they always go out from the office and smoke because too cold. So we can see they more frequent they're smoking. So they're so bad for that. Okay, and then you will realize that in the middle during 12 p.m. people say no. So I will discuss with you that what's happened when people say no. The rest they are too cold. Inside and in between they say no. Okay, I will discuss with you later on that. Okay, then what we did, if you can see the time that we have time here, 9:12, 9:40, we collect all this as a single data. Then we plot this data in the previous graph. So then we can see when people make a comment, people express their feelings bad about too cold, really disturb their work, everything happen in the temperature at 2021. Okay, so that's a common temperature in the building, in our building that time. So we can see people feel discomfort actually. It's totally discomfort. You just imagine you face this daily basis. Daily basis. That really affect their performance. That's why this is actually serious matters actually. Because Every day you come to work, but you cannot perform at the right level because of the buildings, your buildings not provide that conditions. Okay, then for the organization, actually, that's the waste also. Your staff or your people working below than the right performance level just because of indoor environment is not good for them. Okay, then you know what? Okay, so we have that graph. Then this is what I say. Why at noon you can see no. So what this building did, when people make a comment, they will off the air conditioning, which is that's very bad. For centralized aircon, you shouldn't do that. On off the aircon. This will make your aircon aging fast, and then they create a lot more problem. So, but what they don't realize, one thing when they do that, there's an energy waste also for the aircon. Then they make the aircon, the equipment aging fast. This is very bad for the long-term investment, and then for the maintenance also. Then when they do that, what they don't realize, they also make accumulations of carbon dioxide, because when they close the air conditioning, they also close the ventilation. So that means the carbon dioxide accumulate in that office room. That's bad actually, because if you see when the CO2 increase, they have a standard. If you see, if you read 1525, they have a standard. The building should be run with a CO2 level below than 1,000. So when higher than 1,000, what do you feel? You feel like dizziness, like pening kepala sikit, headaches a little bit, and difficult to focus. You can read about this. If you go to internet, you check about carbon dioxide, then what I call impact to your performance. You can see that's happened. You know, normally when people live in this, when I ask people who are working in this condition, they thought because of the building become warmer when they close the air conditioning, and then they become warmer. Yes, the room become more warmer, but at the same time, CO2 accumulate. That's really bad for their what I call focus process. Very difficult to focus when the CO2 level high. So that's also bad. You cannot stay too long in the condition with high carbon dioxide. Okay, so that's further will reduce people performance in the building. Okay, but this always happen. You know, this always happen. That's why I really want to share this, because at least people know the building should think about the people working in that I mean in the building. Not only think about the energy whatever, but you need to think people. Okay. Then not what else? Normally, I ask you, normally, when people work in the cool conditions, what they always do? Anyone want to guess? Please, anyone want to guess? Hello?
Sleep. Maybe they want to sleep.
Sorry? Oh, okay. You know, what's most common things happen when you work in the office that's too cold? Anyone? Sleep. Second,
Drink.
Get hungry easily.
drink, hungry. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think when I give this photo, you might realize it. You can see here. What is it? People open up the window. I just took this picture.
Yes.
Yeah. I just took this picture last month. Actually, I attend one of the training in the hotel because the room too cold, and I just realized someone already opened up the window. So that's why I took a photo. That's a common things happen, right? You agree with me?
Yes,
Huh?
yes.
Yeah. So when this thing happen, you know what will happen in technically, because when your building that time is too cold and outside the ambience hot, then they have different pressure. So the heat will go into your room. There will heat coming. So when heat come into the building, the air conditioning will sense, oh, this room is not enough cool, right? Because they have heat. So what they do, they will give instruction to the compressor to work more harder to remove heat. That's another waste happen to the organization, to the building. actually more energy cost to the what I call to the company or to the building owner. That's bad. That's bad. But this always happen. Okay. That's also not good for the people. But you can see from the energy waste, this is how we can see the leakage energy, how the energy waste happen in your building. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. I think because people might be sick in my area now. I'm in PJ in Selangor. Now it's raining. Why don't we do some activity? Maybe take 1 or 2, maybe 2 minutes. I just want to know how much time do you think you spend indoors during an average 24 hours? That means within 24 hours in general, how many hours you spend in the building, including your house? Can we do this exercise within 2 minutes? Is it okay? Then after 2 minutes, I will ask. Hopefully, people more proactive. You can. After 2 minutes, you can discuss how many hours you spend in building. Okay. So just take 2 minutes, then try to calculate, try to figure out how many hours you spend in building, including in your house. Okay. 2 minutes from now.
Mr. Zafuan.
Yes.
Yes. Is it okay for them to just type in the answers in the chat box?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. But
Yes.
can you just check for me because I'm
Sure.
more with
I'll
the
check for
slide.
you. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. People can put in the chat box. Okay.
In the chat box will be more convenient.
Yeah, okay, sorry, because I'm not really familiar with this. Can you please check for me? And then you just,
Sure.
because I'm worried if I left this, very difficult me to coming in back to my
Okay,
slide.
sure. I'll help you to check. So
Okay,
we
cool.
have, is it okay if I help you to tell you? So now we have
Yeah,
Kenneth
yes,
Kam.
okay,
He said
okay,
including car and restaurants.
yeah,
If yes, almost 23 hours plus. And then we
okay,
have Zarina also said more than 22 hours. Mohamed Khairon also said 28 hours. And then Charles said 20 hours, almost 22 hours from Fatin. And then about 70 to 80% of 24 hours. And then 22 hours. I myself had my 22 hours. Mostly nearly 24 hours actually.
oh,
Zawawi
okay,
said 20 hours. Farah said 22 hours. So I can see average about 20 to 22 hours.
okay, cool. So, okay, so since we get a lot of response, let we continue. Is it okay? Not enough to minute
Sure.
now, but can proceed? Okay, I
Sure.
did. So, okay, cool. So I did this what I call survey also about this. I based on this project. If you can see this, you can check internet. This is project in Europe, led by Velux. And then YouGov actually is an NGO working together with Velux and with the European Union something. The project's named the Indoor Generation. Have you heard about this? No,
Not really.
not really. Okay, it's quite interesting study. The Indoor Generation actually they study how many hours people spend in the building and what affect to them. So they're studying from the I mean the modern living. They're studying from the health, well-being, and productivity. If you see SDG number 3, like in my earlier slide, showed SDG number 3, right? Focus on health, well-being, and productivity. So nowadays you can see a lot of research being done to look into how people impact to the people. I mean, what impact to the people when they live too long in the building, and that's also lead to the new modern building developments. Okay, in that study shown, this is a result. Okay, from that study, you can see there's a result where they did a study in Denmark, Great Britain, US, Germany, France, in Europe, including North America. So the finding is quite interesting, is it? People think we spend about 66%. That means about 16 hours in the building. But exactly, actually, people spend about 90%. I think just now you mentioned, Zawi mentioned about 20 hours. 90% actually about 20 hours. And I did my research also. I did some survey in 2018, and with this project, I'm not sure Zawi know about this. Probably I shared with him last time in 2018. We got a response from 194 people respond. Are you an indoor person and we want to study about this? And this is result that we have. About 15% says they are also working outside. I mean, working outside, they mean because they have friends from oil and gas, they also work at the what call platforms, so they are not really all the time in the building. But then the whole result shows quite interesting. You can see majority in Malaysia show 21% shows they spend about 20 hours in the building. That's the trend. And then 24 hours, when we check the background, mostly from medical background. When we check the response from the medical doctor, almost all shows 24, 23. So that's a serious matter actually. That means we know now most of daily basis we spend our life in the building. So then already shows that building really affect our productivity. Building already affect our health. So that's why building conditions were really critical for the people. That's the message that I try to show. And from the energy point of view, I will show after this how they affect the energy used to create indoor comfort. Okay. Okay. This is sick building syndrome. In 2000, yeah, after the case of that kakak that I mentioned to you in Putrajaya, start do research on that, why people feel like that. Then I found sick building syndrome. Actually, this quite a long time already. Even Department of Environment Malaysia, they have a guide in 2010. They already come up with a guide in 2010 about sick building syndrome for the building. Yeah. So WHO mentions sick building syndrome as a condition where a person who is in the building having symptoms and feeling uncomfortable without transparent caution. So that kakak, when I asked, they only experienced when she was in the building. When she went to the doctor said everything's okay. Outside, she feel different. So that's indications of sick building syndrome. So that means that working condition in that building actually unhealthy for her. So it's quite pity because might be because she's quite worried. When talk with me, I can see she's quite worried. Okay, because the performance drop, she cannot focus. She thought she having a critical ill. That's poor conditions. Okay. Then this you can see the costs. That's a lot, but I would like to highlight poor indoor environment quality, poor lighting in the building, because these two strongly related with energy use. Like what we mentioned just now, when we taking out the data, the lux level show 190, which is very low. The standard MS 1525 standard mentioned for reading activity in the office, we should get between 300 to 400 lux. But that kakak facing the work condition with 190 to 200. That means all the time the eyes need strain to really focus to complete the job. That exhausted also. That's why before lunch you already feel tired. Okay. And from this one, actually, I got it from Malaysia government, Ministry of Kesihatan. Okay, you can see sick building syndrome. Group A, you get headache, lethargy, nausea, dizziness. Group B, Group C. I'm not really expert in this. This one's very, very. My knowledge about this only very thick level. Mostly, I try to look when I do audit. I just look on the basis, then try to link with this. But I'm not have really good knowledge in this. That's why last time in 2017 when we conduct audit, I'm hire a few medical students. They just complete their study, then hire them, working with them to do the data collection for my project. I asked a few doctors, trying to someone probably you're interested, probably you can study on this for further, how this thing happened from medical point of view. Yeah, hopefully later we can get a more good reference for this, because this is quite serious, and we really need to have more knowledge. The building owner need to have more understanding on this. The organization, the company need to really understand on this, how they affect people working in their buildings. Okay. Then this come to the very interesting part. When we talk about this, you heard many times people talk about energy efficiency, and when we have this case, what people do when we do audit, normally people don't do nothing. Okay. Why? Because energy cost in the building is very low. very low. That's why people not really, in our experience, when we do audit, we come up with a report. Normally, it becomes just a report, no action taken. Sometimes our report also, because sometimes we focus too much on the big things, changing this and changing that, but we mislook on in terms of bringing into the how people impact when they are working in that kinds of building. So if you see in this, energy cost actually is a subset of building operating costs. And in the building operating costs, the biggest one is the staff. So I had the discussion with the human resource personnel last time. She also mentioned to me, yeah, the most concern is actually the staff. That's why you can see when the company having a problem, they will cut staff. They will not stop. They will not off the aircon. They will not stop the lighting. They will cut staff. And then having a problem, they cut staff. Then they reduce the office rental probably, or they move to more smaller office. But nobody would think about the energy. Why? Because energy actually is very small. But what I try to bring here is probably by challenge the status quo. Even though energy is small, 1%, this is green building, okay? This is green building in Europe, not based in Europe. For green building, energy costs about 1%. If you are not green, normally about 3 to 4%. So still small. But even though energy is small, only 1% or 2% or 3%, but we already learned just now, energy influence a lot with the air conditioning. Energy have an influence a lot with the lighting. So that, and then the ventilation, that play a major role to create good indoor comfort for the people to work. That's why what the message I try to bring, even though energy costs small for the organization, but you need to manage it. You really need to manage it because this can bring a bad impact to the 90% of your investment, what it means to the staff. Okay. Okay. In another report by World Green Building Council, they focus on they have eight now. They show that in green building right now they show they must have at least around 9 elements to create healthier building, to create well-being building, and to make more productive environment for the people. If you can see, number one, indoor air quality and ventilation, which is this equipment, this system work based on electricity, work based on energy. Okay, and then number two, thermal comfort, also related with air conditioning, which is involve energy. Number three, daylighting and lighting. Daylighting, that means the natural light, I means come from the sun, or we call daylight, or we call natural light, which is light from the sun. That's why you can see now modern building, they try to optimize to bring daylight or light from the sun into the office. So then they will back up with the lighting, normal lighting, or we call artificial lighting, which is the electrical lighting. Okay, so all these require for energy, for electricity. And then number four, number five, number six, number seven, number eight, mostly is involved with the what I call passive design, architecture, probably with the got non-energy use setup. But the first three really need for electricity. So that's why I try to bring here, I want to show here your building. You really need to take care of energy. You need to manage well because energy really strongly involved with your equipment, with your system to create indoor comfort to the peoples. Okay, that's my thought. We shape our buildings. Thereafter, they will shape us. That's Winston Churchill mentions. This come out when I read this paper about this. He mentioned about this after World War II when they want to regulate develop building in the UK. Yeah, with this, yeah, I finish my sharing session. Any Q&A? Probably we can discuss further.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ahmad, Zafuan, Mama Kassim. I hope you all enjoyed this amazing presentation. I'm amazed. I've learned a lot for this. Now we will go ahead and take some questions for now. So just reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the question box in your control panel. It looks like we have a few questions. I'll just read a few from Mr. Goh Kian Hui. In terms of business operation cost, is there comparison to medical cost expenses factor in as well? Hello?
Okay. Sorry again.
Okay. I'll repeat the question. In terms of business operation cost, is there or maybe Mr. Goh, you can on your mic to explain further on this question. Mr. Goh?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah. Just now you have presented a slide. I think there's one slide. There's a comparison of the percentage of your business cost operating, and then you also share that there's some effects if you're working a long time. So your just now the percentage, whether the medical cost is take into consideration for your comparison inside your in terms of business
Okay.
operation. Yeah.
Okay. If you read that report, actually the slide that you mentioned, where is it? The slide. You still can see my slide, right?
Yes, we can
Yes,
see your
yes,
slide.
yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. This one, right? You mentioned this one.
Yeah,
Am I right?
correct. Yeah, correct.
Okay. Actually, this information I got it from World Green Building Council. If from this report actually. Yeah, from this report. So if you read this report, they already mentioned the 90% that you can see, the 90% they show the staff, that already include, even they discuss about the waste come from the medical cost because of people feel the indoor environment is not good, it's already affected people's, their staff, then they need to go to office, the what they call the medical leave, the medical cost, expenses, they already include everything. That they show the how they get the percentage. So they already calculate everything. So that's why when they study this, the comparison, staff actually is not only about the salary, but including all the I mean the medical package, the claim, even the medical leave. Yeah. Am I this answer you?
That will be category under which part? Operation cost, is it? Or the
Under
salary?
operating costs. They put
Okay.
in this report they already put everything under operating costs. Under
I see.
staff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Even just to share with you, I okay.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. I couldn't find any data in Malaysia, but I found there's a last time, but I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it. There's a not report, it's like a data in Singapore, whereby they table up the data for investors. Let's say if you want to invest in Singapore, which office you want to rent, this information, type of office, how big, whatever. And I found they do the comparison in terms of utility. On the energy part, the highest is a hotel building. Hotel building use about 4.5%. That's considered huge, but then in terms of percentage, 4.5. That means almost relevant with the data from this report because they show green building 1%. If you are not green building, normally about 2 to 3%. So data from Singapore that I found, it shows about 4.5% for hotel. That's the biggest. Even if you read further on this, actually when they do the comparison, always they show hotels mostly the biggest, second hospital. But what I found my experience, if hospitals like because I involved in energy audit last time with the General Hospital in Kuala Lumpur, Kuala Lumpur Hospital, we are involved with the energy management project there. The electricity cost huge. And then one part comes from the MRI. They have a lot of equipment, MRI or something like that, that use a lot of electricity. Yeah, yeah. Okay, but in general, hotel in the building category, hotels use a lot more energy compared to others. Okay.
Okay. Mr. Zafuan, it seems that we don't have any more questions at the moment, but I do have a question because I'm very interested actually. So I just want to know what but the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on all this. I mean, because we are being told by the Ministry of Health that we have to, get the outdoor air in, So, but then you said when we open the window, it will cause the energy consumption to be higher. So, what's your take on this?
Yeah. If you run air conditioning, okay, technically, if you run air conditioning, you try to avoid opening in your building envelopes, because when you use air conditioning, what happen actually, the aircon will remove heat inside your building. Okay, they remove heat, and then they will blow cool air inside. That's how you get a cool environment there. But the moment you open up the window, because cool air and hot air, they have different pressure. Hot air have higher pressure. So the moment you open up the window, hot air will coming in. So when hot air coming in your building, they will send again, okay, there's a more heat in this building, your compressor work more harder. So that's why we try to avoid it. But I think when they say trying to get more fresh air, I think in house, okay, because my own residential, my own house, normally I don't use air conditioning. Before this, I don't use it until I got my baby. I just got my baby because he's not well, so we need to use air conditioning for good ventilation. But before that, we don't really use air conditioning. So what we do, we open up the window and then I blow the fan. So by doing that, I can save energy. I pay about 50 ringgit or 60 ringgit to KMB. So yeah, and then if you need more fresh air, actually you need to go outside. Even if you can see in terms of health, something they more encourage people to do activity outside. Just to share with you, I also involved with IRDA. IRDA is Iskandar, Malaysia. So there's a green assessment project. I'm one of the assessor. So we work with lots of new building. If you can see the trend of new building right now, I just came last month. We did the assessment project. A new building now, they provide like what I call bicycle, what I call not track. You can keep the bicycle. They really encourage the staff to have outdoor activity. So that means from the office, after that you can go for cycle, whatever, or you can cycle. And we found one group, we found several trend in Johor, people go to the office, you ride a bicycle, then take a shower and then start work. That kinds of thing. So I think when they say like that, actually more to expose you to the outside, not by doing open up your window while you open up the aircon. That's bad for your energy. I mean, you are more go outside from the building, try to expose more to the outside environment. I think that's what they mean. Yeah. Is it okay with that?
Yes, yes, I'm interested because they were
Yeah.
talking about a lot of data because of COVID, right?
Yeah.
So another question from me, I have a lot of questions because I'm very interested.
I'm okay.
So yes, before this, I didn't know about this building because I have the tendency to open my window as well. So I should stop doing that now. So
Yeah.
another one is we have this thing called humidifier, So actually,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
supposedly to clean the air. So does that any effects towards the energy consumption or I don't know, or the temperature
The moment you
or
open
how
up
the humidifier, all these things.
yeah, the moment you open up any equipment with electricity, that means there's more energy use, right? That means energy cost for you. But then the humidifier sometimes required. Like now, I'm also used because of my baby condition. They really need a good indoor air condition. That's why we have two humidifier to have better environment, because we try to avoid more like wet dust, everything, because of his lung condition. That's why we install that. But then I'm not really good in detail about the benefit of more detail on the humidifier, but I know humidifier people use to get better indoor air quality. So if you need that, then it's okay. Doesn't mean if that equipment is good for you, then you use. Don't because what I say, some people they become more scary to use this because worried with the energy. I say
Yeah.
energy one thing, but the most important thing you need to have a better quality. You need to have health condition in your house, right? By doing that, you can, if you make it well, if you make it, plan it well, you use it well, you optimize your energy, not waste. Like
I
just
see.
now when I showed to you, they try to
Ah,
try to cooling the building, but they overuse. Instead of 24, they cool up to they cool to 21 degree. That's already waste. Yeah, that's with the knowledge we try to avoid that. Yeah.
yes, yes. I feel today's webinar is very knowledgeable. I'm sure also the same for all our 50 plus participants today. So anyway, it looks like we have covered all the questions or any more questions? Like,
I have one question to Zafuan. Zafuan, did you also do the like this energy audit or energy efficiency in Kuching or in Sarawak? Because as I know you are
sorry.
mostly doing your project in Semenanjung, kan?
Yes. Yeah,
Can you share?
if there's a question, definitely I'm looking forward because actually I'm Sarawakian also. I'm Sarawakian, but I reside in PJ. I'm doing my business here. We provide services to. Last time we worked with City Council in Shah Alam. We work in Johor. I'm trying always looking for any opportunity to do project work in Sarawak. Definitely. If you ask me, yeah, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Because yeah.
Hey, just want to open. Sorry, I just got disconnected for a while. So I just want to know, is any more questions from the audience, maybe? Any more? No, eh? So it looks like we have covered all the questions. Mr. Ahmad, Zafuan, Mohamed Kassim, is there anything else you wanted to cover before a wrap up? Or maybe some advice or a tip for the day, maybe?
Okay, if you tip for the day, I think for now, we need to focus on social inclusions. I'm very much interested with this topic right now, even though I'm a technical person. But we always use technology without thinking social, without thinking people's. That's a big mistake. That's a big mistake. So that's why we try to work with the social inclusion in our solution. Uh, Even though we work with the high technology or not, we really need to work on social inclusion. Yeah, with the knowledge actually. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So for now, we're going to have a bit of a certificate ceremony. So I would like
Oh,
to invite our chairman, okay, Association of Professional Technicians and Technologists, Engineer Technologist Ahmad Zawawi, to present the certificate to our presenter, Mr. Ahmad Zafuan, Mohamed Kassim.
oh, thank you very
All
much.
right, so,
Thank you
okay,
very much.
so so that's the certificate for him. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Thank.
so okay. Before you
Okay,
wrap
Zafuan,
up,
on your sharing
okay,
screen.
I would like to invite everyone to switch on your camera for our photo session, please. We just on the camera. Nice to meet you all. So we just on the camera for a while, just for a photo session.
Okay.
So Miss Bell,
Gonna
are you doing the? Okay.
Yeah, okay. So everyone ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
everyone, for the picture.
everyone. Okay, thank you again, Mr. Ahmad Zafuan, for answering those questions and for the great presentation. It's a pleasure to have you with us. And so this concludes the seminar. On behalf of Association of Professional Technicians and Technologists APTT committee members, we appreciate your presence and we hope you all have learned and enjoyed this seminar. I have enjoyed a lot and learned a lot. So thanks again for joining us today and we will see you next time. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't forget
Bye.
to scan your attendance.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.